Whimsy is an act of revolution. These days, I've been practicing the alchemy of wandering, which has consisted of occasional late nights, saying yes when it feels right, amidst other unassuming yet divinely aligned redirections. I know the disorientation of all the disaster around us while we actively attempt to choose a new destiny can be difficult and confusing. But we can't hold the seeds of hope in our hands while waiting for something to burst miraculously from the soil. Though there is a grounding in grieving the old world still. The way our tears glitter the grass with hope that something new will sprout. And the flowers we hold like microphones, singing like birds without fully knowing the words, blowing away the dandelions of our doubts. If the breath of death is a wish, then wonder is a way we redirect our fate. What if we let our hearts lead us to a beginning we want to believe in? The seams of our intention pressed like sewing without a pattern. Sometimes things come together even when we don't have it perfectly planned out. I believe if we truly want the world to change, we must trust ourselves enough to transform. If we cannot break away from the patterns perpetuated by our own self-consciousness, we will continue to circle in the same stories, the same cycles society has deemed as the status quo for centuries. But if we are able to anchor in our most actualized sense of self, then we have a chance to transmute the tides of chaos into a sea of something different. Through the practice of presence, purpose just becomes a state of being. This is how we root ourselves into a new reality. We are the dawn of our own attention. The universe is an affirmation when you exist in a state of authenticity. Finding the pitch of your being is to harmonize with the sounds of your soul. And ending the chase of survival is to be able to harbor the sense of home wherever we go.
Hello beautiful people, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey and I have been sharing my life here on YouTube for a few years now, and kind of in fragments, much like my poems. They're little moments and glimpses into my world, and I hope that in this, I am offering you an invitation to find some magic in your current moment, or wonder amidst all the worry in our world. It is the first day of May, and I am spending it in Volunteer Park, about to watch the sunset, and had some things that have been on my mind that I wanted to share. A lot of it has just been whimsy, the thing that I cling the most to in this very dystopian, scary world that we are all watching the transformation of. And wow, our souls chose to be here. Amidst all of the destruction and doom, I do think that we are the creators of our own reality, and so I do hold on to hope, and I hope that you hold on to your wonder and can find your own magic in every single moment. And so I just wanted to spend some time with myself, grounding for this next season and really just setting intentions. And so I thought today would be a good moment to share with you all. I have some things that have been on my mind that I jotted down in my journal, all centering around the alchemy of wandering. I am an air sign, a Gemini. Don't come for me. I know, but an air sign. And I have always felt this feeling of sometimes scatteredness, and other times I just feel free, floating kind of in and out of different orbits, and people and places all sort of come and go and serve so many purposes in my journey, and I've just been reflecting on that. And one of the things that I really want to get into today is how I personally come home to myself. And it's been something that I've been practicing a lot lately for the first time in my life at the ripe age of 26, almost 27. I'm so excited to turn 27. Anyways, I am living alone and I don't have a partner. I am like really in this like era of like singlehood, not just romantically, but just like energetically. Like I really feel like my sense of self has been something that I have been rediscovering, and there have been kind of ways that I've been doing that. And so I wrote a little list in my notebook, and yeah, I just wanted to share some things with you all. So get cozy. I wish my cats were here with me. I need to get them a stroller because I have their leashes, so I wish that I could create the ambiance. But if you have fur babies, snuggle up or wherever you are. Thank you for sharing this space with me. How I come home to myself. The first thing that I wrote down was dance. And dance is something that I have always done on and off throughout my life. At one point, at the very, very beginning, my mom put me in ballet classes when I was a little girl. My mother was a dancer, and there's always just something that I felt like connected to her specifically through that we were able to kind of have this like unspoken way of connecting with one another. Even though I didn't necessarily get to dance with her growing up, it felt like something that she was so passionate about that I could express and have like a piece of her move through me, if that makes any sense. I did ballet as a young girl, and then when I was in middle school, I tried to do cheer, and it just felt too stiff and just like didn't let my body flow the way that I wanted it to. And so I switched over to the dance team, and then I kind of fell out of touch with dance for a really long time, and felt disconnected from my body in so many different ways, from disordered relationships with my self-image and, not feeling even just like safe to share myself in that kind of way. I forgot that dance is a way that I can really just instantly tap into my sense of home inside myself. And I feel really grateful because one of my best friends, Kiara, she teaches classes, and I've taken a few, and sometimes she'll even reserve the studio for us, and we don't even like do any type of choreo during that time together. We just all kind of move and groove and take up the space, and however our souls feel that need to release. And I think that has been one of the just most special aspects of our friendship. It not only gives me space, but I love it because it invites other people to join me. And I've gotten so many messages that are like, oh, I used to dance, or I used to be on a team. And yeah, I think that is a way that I can recreate home, because it was always something that me and my mom shared. So then getting to share it with my friends and strangers online that see me post little dancing videos in the studio has been really special. So yeah, dance is one way that I come home to myself. And like coinciding with dance is singing. I have like this vivid memory of when I was a young girl in music class in elementary school, and I had two of my friends as backup dancers, and all doing our little performance for the class. And yeah, singing is sometimes hard. I growing up was kind of felt like I should quiet myself, and that I was always like too much. And so being able to unlearn telling myself that I shouldn't speak, or that I should be more cautious with My voice is a lesson, needless to say. As a Taurus rising, I have kind of struggled with my throat chakra. Either I feel like it's overactive and I'm, speaking without thinking, or, just like not letting myself process before I use my voice. Or on the other side, I've been kind of like repressing of my voice, and I've hushed myself, whether it's been like the shame or what I was taught to express, and that resulted a lot in like not singing. And been learning more and more about my voice through songwriting and connecting with musicians and producers and people that are giving me the space to make my voice heard and want to hear me. And I think songwriting is storytelling, it's poetry, it's, another vehicle that I can share my soul. And so singing has been a really beautiful way that I have found a home in myself again. Yeah, I think like as a little girl, I was just taught that I should be quiet, and so singing became taboo, or something that I would only do alone in my room. And even then still, like, I have some memories of, being told to stop singing when I was a kid, which, granted, maybe had some validity to it. But yeah, I now sing proudly, and really thankful for those that have come into my life that have invited me to really let my voice be heard. So yeah, sing a song. It doesn't have to be good. You don't have to write it yourself, but if that feels like it is something you want to explore, then try it out. It can be silly, and it can just be to some SoundCloud beat, and you can just make up words on the spot. That's sometimes what I do, and I find myself somewhere in those moments. One of the other rituals that I have implemented in my daily routines that's helped me find home in myself is gardening. Again, it always comes back to like the women in my life. And growing up, I spent so much time in my great-grandmother's garden, and I feel like I really learned how to be secure with myself through the women that practice self-autonomy. And my great-grandmother, she was widowed pretty early on in life. And now in this era of singlehood, I guess I take notes from her, and it's been kind of a little ritual and practice that I've had with myself of just, waking up, watering my flowers, checking on my herbs, see how things are growing. It's so like, I grew up in the desert, so to me, like, watching something come to life that like I planted is still like kind of mind-blowing, which sounds kind of silly, but like at the same time, like when you grow up in Las Vegas and there's like nothing, it feels magical even at 26. Okay, it's still magic to me, and watching things grow is exciting, and I use it as symbolism for my life of like, yeah, like I really am in this era of planting seeds. And sometimes it takes time, but then sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, everything is here all at once, and where did these flowers come from, and look at these sprouts. And it's it's childlike wonder that brings me a sense of hope. I've been growing flowers, I've been growing herbs, and I'm excited to be able to eat the things that I grow. And there are some things like that grow really fast, so like it's cool to just like see that progress. And yeah, it gives me motivation, and it also gives me purpose. Plants give me purpose, which you have to wake up and water them and make sure that they are well nourished and fertilize them occasionally and things like that. So yeah, my garden has been a home in itself. Another way that I have been creating this like sense of home in myself has been through colors. One of the ways I'll use colors is like what I wear. I've realized with my placements of being a Leo Venus, Taurus rising, a lot of what makes me feel like myself is aesthetics, and that is something that I'll do through the clothing that I wear. And so, if I am feeling one type of the way or the other, I'll wear a color that kind of like reflects that. So today I'm wearing orange and green because I'm feeling adventurous, but also like grounded. Other times I might use colors in like the crystals that I put in my bag. If I'm feeling optimistic, then I might put like some yellow citrine in my bag. Or if I feel like I could use some of that in my life, then I might call in that energy by choosing a color or a crystal that reflects that. Kind of similarly, I'll do the same thing with scents. So I'll either like light an incense from my like local bodega. They have a bunch of like incense that are like, some are like peace, love, money, other scents, or it could be even just like vanilla if I have like, or an essential oil that I feel like fill the space with intention. I may sing a prayer or silently set an intention when I, light a candle or incense or put some oils in my diffuser. There's also like research behind that. Like they say that scents can stimulate or activate you in different ways. Different scents have different energies. I feel like scent is just a sweet way that I can stimulate my sense of self all in one simultaneous moment. Another way that I have been finding home in myself has been stretching. Again, I feel like so much of my identity roots back to the women of my life. My mom, growing up, would start her day with yoga and Pilates, and occasionally I would roll out a mat beside her and we would do it together. And I still find comfort in that practice and, moving my body, and not always doing guided videos or going to classes, but sometimes I will, and I think those can be interesting ways to explore myself if I'm kind of needing some guidance. I think that is totally fine. But there are also other days where I just want to explore and move in ways that feel intuitively good. Yeah, stretching has been a way that I can flow back into myself, or, sometimes I discover things while I'm stretching or doing yoga. I'll notice that there is, maybe pain or tension, or something just feels really good to finally just get into a certain position. Maybe sometimes I'll have like neck pain, or different parts of my body maybe just need some more attention. That sometimes is through movement or stillness or various positions or exercises. Running has also been another way that I've been finding home in myself. I think there is, everyone talks about the runner's high. I was a long distance runner, and I definitely can attest to the feeling that running can be just euphoric, and I know some people are gonna cringe at that, whatever. They say that your environment is a reflection of who you are, and so I think that going for a run or going for an all walk and just practicing presence is a way that we can remind ourselves all of the affirmations that exist around us, all of the beauty that exists around us is just a reflection of what's inside of us. So moving my body one way or another it's a love that I rejoice in. It's not always, my body has definitely not been always a place that I have found a sense of home in. So when I'm able to find that sense of being through any of those, like, it makes me feel like I am finally overcoming the chapter of my life where my body was not a safe place for me to be. And I spent a lot of my years like ridiculing myself and, just being so judgmental to my body. And I think it's just like the biggest celebration to just be able to feel comfort in movement and not feeling weird if I go into a certain yoga pose and I can feel maybe, my stomach roll, or whatever, like I can find reclamation. Finding home in my body has been a journey and something that I am so proud of to say that I feel this way and that I can move with joy is a blessing I don't take for granted. And I know there are other people in this world that would do anything to trade places with an able-bodied person. So it is something that I don't take for granted. The last thing that I wrote on my list was finding myself in the moment. And this was actually something I was taught from my poetry mentor. Her name's Vogue Robinson. Incredible author. Go buy her book. Shameless plug because she deserves it. Like, she's just an incredible woman. So Vogue, love you. But she taught me this poetry prompt, which was to just pull different things from her environment. So if I were to do it right now, it would be like cherry blossoms, botanical garden, picnic, notebook, just random things that exist in your environment. And the prompt that she gave me would be to, weave them into a poem. And it has been something that I'll use for my writing, but it's also just something that I come back to time and time again in life, and just finding myself everywhere I am and seeing how this world is just one big mirror to me, and everyone is a reflection of me. Everything, every experience, it's, we are the creator of our own realities, and I believe that whatever we put out into the world is what we receive. So just taking stock and inventory of like, okay, what is my experience? What is happening around me? And where am I in all of it? And where can I see myself in the people that I've been attracting, or the places that I've been going to, or when I let myself wander, where do I find myself, and how is where I end up a reflection of who I am? And yeah, that has just been a constant way that I find grounding, especially through the chaos of change when things are rapidly shifting around me. It's been the one thing that I feel like roots me to reality. So yeah, those are the ways that I have been finding home in myself. I hope that this video is inspiring or evokes some sense of self that you can maybe tune into today or practice, or maybe something that I didn't mention popped up in your mind, and I just, like the white rabbit, go follow it and see where that thought takes you. And if you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you for sharing this glimmer of time that we have had together. It truly means so much to me to be seen, and I hope that this video inspires you to harbor home wherever you are. Home is not a place, it is a feeling, and there are ways that we can anchor ourselves in our actualized self, whether our current reality reflects all of our ambitions and dreams. We can call those into our present moment through our presence, through our practices. And I just hope that you have the patience to pause and see that you are perfect exactly where you are, and this is where you're meant to be. In the same way that you see me, just know that I see you. I believe in you. I love you. I truly believe that you can do anything, and don't let doubt creep into your dreams. Our reality is anything that we want it to be. You are limitless. And with that said, it would be so lovely if you liked, subscribed, commented, whatever you feel called to connect with me in whichever way feels right for you. I just am grateful that we are existing in the same atmosphere, and you're an angel. Thank you for being here. with me today. And until next time, bye.